Welcome to Movie Bitches.
Episode 71. That's not a thing.
71.
Good. These movies have killed us, you guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, tonight we're reviewing... What? This movie was terrible. Okay, tonight we're reviewing By the Sea. So anyway, By the Sea is, in case you didn't see it on the thing, it's written and directed by Angelina Jolie Pitt. So apparently, Angelina Jolie's mom was like totally a huge fan of like these kind of French movies. And so I think this was in some ways like a love letter
to her mom.
Okay. How sweet. But also, ooh. Oh my god, can we talk about his terrible French accent?
Was it terrible?
It really was.
Well, it wasn't an accent. He was speaking French.
Well, sorry, yes. Well, okay, but his accent was terrible. His French accent was bad.
Him speaking French was not good.
Yes.
I mean, she kind of gave him all the French dialogue.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because she's practically mute.
Yeah.
So this movie is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, but take all of the interesting dialogue, cameraing, actors, and just bleed it dry. That's how I felt.
I would say that's pretty accurate. I mean...
I really wanted to watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf after this movie. Okay,
so first of all, I think we've already said in this review more words than were spoken in this movie.
For at least the first hour. Here's the thing that was boring was, it wasn't just that no one was speaking, it was that they were doing the exact same thing over and over again. So it was very much like the first hour of Marie Antoinette, where you're like, I get it. Sophia Coppola, I get it. You don't need to show me the same thing six times. It was like, then he's going to get back, and he's going to put his stuff on the table, and he's going to get down, and she's going to be, once again, lying in a chaise lounge, where it looks like she's practically disappearing into the chair, not speaking. And then that happens 15 times?
How many days were they at this place?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Months? Like, I literally don't know. I mean, it seems like it went on forever.
He wrote a whole book. I don't know. Okay, so also, apparently this movie was filmed during Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's honeymoon. Yikes. What does that say?
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, what does that say?
I will say one thing. I want to go to that hotel.
It does look lovely.
It seems fabulous.
I mean, aside from the hole in the wall that's like a creepy peeper Tom situation.
Yeah, it was really like a little window into like, what's going on there? There's like a voyeur in you. Yeah. But like not even a fun voyeur.
No.
They end up spying on this couple that's honeymooning.
Exactly.
In a creepy way.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be like in this thing where it's like, oh, in a way that like represents their younger selves, and like she wishes that she could have been back, you know, like reconnected to where they once were.
I mean, I get it. The metaphors in this movie weren't deep. That was the thing.
No.
This whole movie wanted to be so deep, and it was so shallow. So the whole movie, you don't know what's wrong with her.
Zombie.
She's just
emotionally,
like, I'm a mess.
like,
and Brad Pitt's like, come on, talk to me. And you're just like, who cares?
And no, you're like, come on, please talk to him. I want to hear someone speak in this fucking movie.
Well, like, okay, so since nothing happens for like an hour, we kept speculating, like, what do you think happened?
Well, there would only be these little like flashback, like...
Not even flashbacks. They were like flashes of red and black.
Yeah.
And she would have like moments of just like, ah, and you would, ah, and you would be like, what happened? Like, so at one point I speculated, because I was so bored, I was like, maybe she's an alien, and she's just gonna like unhinge her jaw, and then like tear off her skin and be like, crab person, na 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 na. Did you think that was gonna be amazing? Exactly. And then I was like, maybe she's a ghost, maybe she's dead the whole time, because like, I don't know. And then, what else do we think was going on?
Well,
We thought maybe she got raped because she was like emotionally very damaged and like she wouldn't sleep with Brad Pitt.
Exactly.
We were like, okay, maybe that's going on. Then I was like, maybe she had a miscarriage. Turns out she's barren.
And she had 2 miscarriages.
And that was like a huge reveal.
And yet it was a huge letdown.
Well, because
which I feel bad saying that, but like
because the way they set it up, you're bored for an hour and 15 minutes, and you're just like, because there's such a build of like, what is it? That
don't
when
talk about it. Don't talk about it.
finally like, oh, she's barren. You're like, oh, that's sad, but that's it. Like, how much more? Just like, twist the knife would it have been if you'd known she was barren?
Yeah.
She's hanging out with Melanie Laurent. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
And Melanie Laurent is like, I'm pregnant. And you just see the heartbreak on Angelina Jolie's face. Oh, it would have been so much more emotionally impactful.
Why this story?
Yeah.
Is this a story?
No. It's a series of scenes.
Yeah.
It's like an art installation.
Right?
The whole thing looks like a gorgeous Yves Saint Laurent ad.
It does, exactly! She has her Yves Saint Laurent sunglasses.
Everything's just like hats and skirts.
She
and
walks
shoes.
everywhere like this. It
I
looks
mean,
like a gorgeous Yves Saint Laurent.
I mean, the whole thing looks like a perfume ad. Like, he was like, beautiful, right? But you don't care.
No.
It's an hour and 45-minute perfume commercial.
And you're like, fuck you.
Not even. It's a 2 hour.
2 hours.
A 2+ hours perfume commercial. That's what it is. So at first I thought maybe this movie is like kind of making fun of those
kind of
70s Italian, French movies, right? And I was like kind of excited about it because so the first line of the movie, they drive, it's all fabulous, there's French music playing. She gets out of the car and she just goes, I smell fish. And it was totally like what a dump.
What a dump. What a dump.
Like, it was like, oh, is she channeling some Betty Davis, like Joan Crawford action right now? If this whole thing is just a comment on that, yes. But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't even kind of, which bummed me out.
I know. I will say, I wanted to say I haven't had such a desire. You okay there? Mm-hmm. I wanted to say that I haven't had such a desire to flee a movie theater in a long...
Flee.
Flee, like run away. I wanted to get out there.
Since Steve Jobs, really.
That's exactly what Get out of my head! I was going to say, I haven't had that desire for a long, long time. But no, it was Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I felt the same way in both of those movies.
Yeah.
However, the entire dialogue of this movie fit into the first half of the scene.
45 minutes of?
No, not even.
Yeah.
It was like a scene of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But whatever, different problems.
This
but
movie
the same boredom and the same, like, get me out of this thing. Like, I just was like, I want to leave. I want to leave. I was like, I have to get out of here. There, like.
Oh my God, you like just turned into Hugh Jackman. I have to get out of here. This movie, like, reveled in ignoring you.
Yes.
It was like, and you will be ignored. And you'll love it. Because they both look fabulous. I mean, they did look 70s. It looked appropriate. Kind of.
Yes. No, it did. Except for when she was reading a Vogue that I could have sworn had her face on it. I was like...
I'm sure that's not true.
But, like, it was, like, such a... Like, all of the other magazines were, like, Soup's old, right?
Soup's old.
Shut up. They were, like...
Campbell Soups. The only way I can recommend this movie is if you play a drinking game with it.
Oh, yes.
So I would say anytime Angelina Jolie switches into a different colored dressing gown, drink.
Okay. I would say every time she contemplates jumping into the cliffy ocean, drink.
Every time Brad Pitt takes her sunglasses and turns them from lens face down to lens face up, drink.
So deep.
It was so deep.
She
can't even take care of her sunglasses. How could she take care of a kid?
Child. Every time they show the fisherman going out to sea.
Yes. The metaphorical fisherman.
Drink.
Every time Angelina Jolie just, like, stares into space blankly drink. It's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
Waterfalling the entire film.
Oh my god.
Every time you wish you were in France and not watching this film, drink.
I really did.
Yeah.
I was really just like, oh, it'd be so lovely.
Yeah.
You could have fresh food. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like fish and that bread, that baguette looked so good. I was like, just give me some French bread and butter and a glass of wine. Oh, every time that they turn you off of drinking, drink? Is that?
Every time they walk up and down the same stone staircase, drink. Every time he empties his pockets onto the table, drink. Every time he walks into the room and she's already asleep, drink. I mean, the whole movie is the same. It's just
the same.
the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again. This movie felt like it was 3 days long, didn't it? It just felt like
3 months.
an eternity. It was like a bad Sofia Coppola movie. Like,
Like one of the
there's
worst
like
ones.
the pretty good ones. And
This
then
was one of
there's
the worst
like,
ones.
you know, somewhere, and you're just like, oh, fucking get this over with. Can I leave? Ugh. Like, it's like that. It's one of those. Except it's trying to be like pseudo-intellectual
Yep.
French
Yep.
highbrow, and you're just
Yep.
like,
No.
no. It just seemed like it wasn't quite an homage to those movies.
not enough.
It didn't transcend and become its own thing.
No.
It was just sort of like a failed attempt at a Antonioni movie, basically, or a Truffaut movie. It was like, well, meh.
I can't with this movie. I could not recommend this in any way, shape, or form.
As a
my
final, like, fuck you to the audience, it ended on a freeze frame.
Oh god.